Guys, after making this video, I jumped on Reddit, I jumped on some forums, I've been reading about what GM staff are saying, I've been reading about what former GM and current GM staff are saying. They're saying it's literally a shit show at General Motors. I'm not sure how else I can even say that, because the truth is, it does appear to be a shambles. It appears as though the business is fractured, that no one really knows what's going on, and the GM could be in for a very bumpy ride over the next 12 months. Boy, oh boy, General Motors, they are in some serious trouble. And if you don't think they are, if you're still one of those hardcore General Motors fans, and guys, I know you guys are out there, and I actually like the company. I don't know why, but I do. I just feel sorry for them, because General Motors are in a state of terminal decline. Their sales in China have collapsed. I mean, they're probably going to go bankrupt in China within the next few years. And when I say bankrupt, I mean they'll choose to do that because it's the most logical solution. The car sales there have just turned from incredible numbers. I mean, we're talking 4.1 million. 4.1 million in 2017 to, probably around 1.5 million this year. Next year, it'll be under a million. Terrible. GM's sales in Europe have, GM has basically said, we're not really going to sell cars in Europe anymore. What's the point? And now, apparently now General Motors don't need software experts and engineers. General Motors, though, they said many times, Mary Barra said this, we will make we will make $100 billion by 2030 selling on software upgrades, software. She never really explained how this is going to happen. But apparently for that to happen, GM doesn't need anyone working in their software team. They just fired them all. Well, not all of them, but a pretty large percentage of them. Bizarrely, this has barely been reported on. Now, if this was Tesla, holy freaking smokes. If Tesla had fired 1,000 people in their software team, front page news, guys. Tesla going down the toilet. Elon Musk is bipolar and he's gone mental. Hello, my friends. Welcome to the channel. Great to see you. I'm Sam Evans. You're watching the Electric Viking. I want to say a big thank you to the guys who installed my solar on my roof here, Resync Solar. If you'd like to know more about them, I'll put a link in the description below. That link, as well as, by the way, I don't get any kickbacks on it, by the way. It's just a thing where they know that you've come through the channel and they're willing to give anyone who comes through the Electric Viking channel a discount. So what is going on here with General Motors? Well, GM has laid off more than 1,000 salaried software services employees. Some people might say that these are salaried employees. This has something to do with unionization, about these new contracts that have been signed with the union, UAW, and people think that these contracts are too expensive. Ford have said that they're costing about $300,000 per worker. If that's the case, and the same might apply to General Motors, well, you can see why General Motors are doing this. But if that's not the case, then more than 1,000 people working in their software area, that seems like a bizarre time to do this. I mean, software has never been more important than it is today. GM has confirmed the layoffs initially reported by CNBC. It said in a statement that as we build GM's future, we must simplify for speed and excellence, make bold choices, and prioritize the investments that will have the greatest impact. Now, I don't know if these people were working on the Chevy Blazer EV. The Blazer EV, what happened with it, right? 56 different problems, all related to software. 56, that's the exact number reported. I mean, guys, I get having 5 or 10 issues when a new car comes out. Even 10, that would be crazy. 50 freaking 6. Anyway, GM say that they fixed most of those, or all of them, apparently. That was in a press car, by the way. That wasn't some random YouTuber called Sam Evans or anything like that. That was a press car. Apparently, these job cuts include 600 jobs at GM's high-tech campus near Detroit. Can you have a high-tech campus in Detroit? Is that a thing? Is that like having a cold sun? Anyway, GM said about half of the cuts are in the United States, which makes no sense because 600 of the jobs we know 600 are in Detroit, so that's 60%. Half of the cuts then, does that mean it's 1,200 staff? Well, that's what GM is saying. They're saying, all right, 600 were at GM's tech campus in Detroit. and the other 600 were outside of the US. So the cuts were not because of cost cuts, according to GM, but became after a review of operations following the departure of Mike Abbott, Executive Vice President of Software and Services in March, who left due to health reasons. So the head of the division leaves and they fired 1,200 software staff. That's a lot. I mean, I don't know, but that sounds to me like that's really a purging going on here. That sounds like a Tesla level purging. Abbott is a former Apple executive. He was hired in 2023 to spearhead GM's software development efforts amid an investment ramp up from the automaker in electric vehicles and subscription-based services. Subscription-based services, that's the area where Mary Barra said that GM would make more than $100 billion. In April 2023, GM said about 5,000 of its salaried workers took buyouts to leave the company as it worked to hit a $2 billion cost cut target after it cut hundreds of executives and salaried jobs in February of 2023. It is weird, right, that the media seems to really focus on Tesla firing people, but GM have fired more people than Tesla, right, in the past 12 months. More than Tesla. Why are we just focusing on when Tesla does it? Think about it. Tesla makes what? Less than 2 million cars a year, right? Let's say they do 2 million cars this year. Therefore, GM, who are selling more than twice that many cars, have fired, when you think of a percentage of their company, a lot more than Tesla have. But this news will probably barely be reported on by mainstream media, and almost certainly not by any other YouTubers who are just more interested in what's the latest Cybertruck crash. It's, what's the latest blown up thing on a bridge or something. Anyway, I guess that that's partly what it's about, isn't it? Humans are kind of attracted to things that blow up and that smash. But speaking of blowing up and smashing, kind of sounds a bit like where GM are headed within a few years' time. Thanks for watching.